Now, on a side note of this 8-day Oompa clock, let's talk about this lever right here. This lever right here is attached to this wire that comes out the bottom of the clock. And this is how you silence the music and cuckoo, is by pushing up on this lever. When you push up on this lever, what it's doing, this rod right here is part of the lift lock lever. The lift lock lever is what activates the rack stop lever, and it's activated from the minute wheel with minute arbor center wheel that has those tabs on the half hour, on the hour. So whenever you turn the hands around, the lift lock lever will lift up to activate all that stuff. Okay? But when you push up on this lever, it is pushing onto the lift lock lever, and so now the rack cannot, it was in the process of cuckooing, the rack cannot drop. As you can see with me turning the minute wheel around, the rack, which is this part right here, cannot drop. And that is the modern day nighttime shutoff lever. When I say modern day nighttime shutoff lever, I'm fixing to upset a few people, but I'm going to explain why I'm right. A lot of cuckoo clocks have got this wire above the door. A lot of people call that a shipping wire, and it's only used for shipping to prevent the clock from cuckooing. Well, how the heck is it gonna cuckoo if the weights are not on it? That's my first stance to this shipping lever only type thing. The older clocks, like I said, used to have that wire, and that wire would stop the cuckoo from cuckooing at night if that's what you choose to do so, and we're going to talk about that. And by the way, this wire can easily pull out and get lost, and that's why I feel that they went to this different system, is because people were complaining that they no longer had a cuckoo nighttime shutoff lever. But if you are like me, and when my clocks were going, this is my bedroom. You get used to your clocks. You ignore them. Your body doesn't recognize that they're going off. The only time I would stop my clocks was when I was sick, and then I didn't want to hear any noise whatsoever other than what I used to go to sleep with. Getting back to this 8-day movement with this modern day nighttime shutoff lever on it. As you can see, the rack isn't dropping. Okay, now we're going to turn it back on so it cuckoos. And now the rack drops. Okay. If I was to prevent this rod from opening, this is a cuckoo perch rod. And if I was to prevent it from opening, that is the same thing as a nighttime shutoff lever. Okay, I have this wire wrapped around so this bird post cannot open. Okay? And so as the clock does its thing, it will not cuckoo because this bird post is not opening. It's the older nighttime shutoff lever. Once you open up the door, the first time it cuckoos, it could cuckoo off. But the next time it cuckoos, it will be caught up with itself. A lot of people say, if you worked on enough clocks like I have, you will not be using that as a nighttime shutoff lever. I know people that use that every day, every night, I'm sorry, and they have never had an issue with their clock. If you set the rack and snail up properly, and as long as there's no other issues with your clock, there's nothing wrong with using that door wire as a nighttime shutoff lever. There are sometimes I wish I had somebody in my house to help me video. Hopefully you're going to see what I'm fixing to do. These are all one day, except for this clock, sorry. One day cuckoo clocks. When I have my clocks going, with a modern one day cuckoo clock, you have to wind it twice a day. They only last for about 22 hours. Different subject. But whenever I had my clocks going, and I would leave for the day and come back and my clocks had stopped, I'd wind up my clocks, and then to set my clocks, I close the door with my finger, and then I would, with one finger, and then with the other hand, I would set the clocks. We're going to make this thing go off at 9 o'clock. Okay, that was 9 o'clock. Now we're going to pretend like it's 7 o'clock, and I'm going to close this door. Actually, this clock here has got a wire on it. So I could turn the hands. It's not able to cuckoo because that wire is preventing that bird from coming out. I believe that's 6 o'clock, and this is 7 o'clock. Now I'm going to let the door go. It cuckooed 11, 12 times, something like that. The very next time it cuckoos, it will be correct. That was 7:30. That was 8 o'clock. Again, you could use that wire as a nighttime shutoff lever, and as long as there's nothing wrong with your clock, as long as when it was serviced, when it was put back together, as long as it was put in time and there wasn't nothing wrong with the clock, it's not going to hurt it to close the door at night if that's what you choose to do so. Here I have a 3D cuckoo clock. There's no door on it. But if I hold my finger in the hole and prevent the cuckoo from coming out, no cuckoo. Next time it cuckoos, it will be correct. That was 7 o'clock. It's 7:54. Again, that's how I set my clocks when I'm gone for the day. And if you choose to do so, to use the wire above the door for the nighttime shut off, you can. This clock has got the wire. 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 That clock's got the wire. That's as far as I'm walking. This site right here used to, and I'm sure it still does, talk about the same thing that I just talked to you about. We're going to go to clock repair. It might be under service, I'm not for sure. Let me search cuckoo clock. Let me find it. Stand by. Again, Clockworks. Today's November 17th, 2023. Cuckoo clock not striking. New cuckoo clock movement not striking. When the new cuckoo clock movement will not go into striking mode for the hours, the bird will not come out and the clock will not indicate what time it is with the cuckoo call. Here are the guidelines on what to check in this situation. Latch the cuckoo door. There is a wire above the cuckoo door. This closes and locks it into place. This is either shipping the clock and also, did you hear me? Also for chime shutoff. Nighttime shutoff. This is what they used to use, and my personal feelings behind it. People lost the wire, they couldn't understand it, so they created this new system, and it will not affect, as long as your clock is in serviceable order, it will not affect you using that wire above the door for a nighttime shutoff lever. This is one of the reasons that I left a lot of groups, because of this discussion right here. People told me that I didn't know what I was talking about. I spent hours defending myself. This is just one place that says it's for use for a nighttime shutoff lever. Time to get back to working on this clock.